What's up, guys? All right, man. Today is the day. This is the stuff that I like to train on. Things that I'm passionate about because I believe in this stuff. This shit has helped me my whole life. And this wasn't something I went to high school. This wasn't something I actually went to college for. You guys know I didn't go to college. Like, I've been learning this in the fires of the real world, like on the ground, with either investing in coaches, investing in programs, investing in seminars, and then turning around and actually having to apply the shit that I learned, because unlike other people, I didn't have a job. I didn't have like this college background. I didn't go to school, and I was like this super smart kid. As a matter of fact, Sharon and I were talking yesterday. I was like, something that I never remember anyone ever telling me as I was a kid, that you are so smart. Like, my sister and I were talking, and she was saying that people were saying that about my niece. Like, she is so smart. I always remember people saying that about my sister. Man, she's so smart, man. She's so this, she's so that. No one's ever told me, Vic, you are so smart. So if you are hoping that that's going to save you as it relates to the shit that we're going to go over business-wise, and when I say the word school and all this other stuff, people like to think that either, oh, I need to be smart, or if you're really smart, you think you're going to be good. This is battle-tested shit that really works about business. And there's a distinction I want you to get, which is why I'm doing this training, which is why we call it the battle-tested business school, because we're going to go over some key distinctions in this training, which is what I want you to get. So I want you to kind of picture this, and when we use like sports. I like fighting, but some of you guys may not understand all the technicalities of fighting. Some of you guys may have never fought professionally or amateur, so maybe we won't use it. So we'll use a bigger sport. And let's just say, like my mentors like to use, like let's say basketball. Everybody knows basketball, right? So, but in basketball, there's a difference between a winning team and a losing team, naturally, right? That's why sports analogies work. There's winning in sports, and there's a losing team in sports. Just like in business, there's a winning team in business, and there's a losing team in business. You can win and you can lose. But the basics are very different. So let's take a look at basketball, like we said. There's kind of not a whole bunch of shit going on in basketball. There's dribbling, there's shooting, there's passing, and there's some form of like blocking. But that's kind of it. There's not a lot of other shit going on as it relates to that. But could you imagine being in basketball and not knowing those basics? Like, you show up on the basketball court and you don't know that. You don't know the basics. So the key part to anything, as this is in sports, successful sports teams and losing sports teams, or as it is in winning businesses or losing businesses, businesses that make a lot of money and that people that run successful businesses and that become wealthy and successful because that's the purpose, or people who are poor and broke and middle class that run a business, or middle class mindset or poor mindset about business. They're also the losing side of this thing. There are key distinctions in their basics. Now, when you get it, we're not saying the basics like, oh shit, here we go over the basics. Like, for the most part, 90% of the world has never learned the fundamental basics of successful business. People who have been battle tested in business and who've won, who created $1 million net worths, high passive incomes, all this other shit, who've actually made it rather than just earn a living with a business, which is what people tend to do. And some of them don't even do well at that. All right. So this training, as it relates to the battle tested business school, is really all about the key fundamental basics of what actually fucking works, and the distinction between somebody creating a business because they want to create massive wealth and be rich and successful in business versus having a business and still losing, because there's a very key distinction in those two principles. All right. So again, from the notes, because I tend to do that because I think this is important. So as we take a look at that, we're going to go over, like we said before, you don't need everything. You will not need everything, but what you will need is the 20% that will get you the 80% of your results. The 20% of your actions, just like everything else, will get you 80% of your results. So if you know the 20% and you focus all of your energy on the 20% of shit that works in business to actually get you successful, to make you wealthy, to make you rich, and to follow the battle-tested principles of the people who actually created a business to create wealth and success, instead of those who created a business and they don't have the principles lined up as it relates to being a battle-tested business owner, and those people stay broke and they stay poor and they never really make any business, all right, because there's a distinction. So if we take a look at that stuff, what are, if you look at those, what are the key elements that a successful business owner, a battle-tested business owner who created some level of success will create, all right? And they're very small, but if no one tells you this stuff, you don't get it. Because most people just create the business and they don't have this stuff. Like you said, 90% of the people that have a business don't know what the fuck they're doing, right? And I'll go over a little bit of my experiences in this because, like I said, I've been battle-tested in the fucking real world on fire, where if you lose, you fail. And I failed. And I've succeeded at the highest level that I can think of too, because different levels are different for different people, okay? So what are those three key basics of a successful battle-tested business owner, a wealthy guy that's looking to create more and more wealth in his business versus the ones who don't? There are these intentions for business. So what is your intention for creating financial wealth inside of a business, financial stability, for growth, to be rich, really, the money? And those three financial intentions are simply, and I'm going to write this, so I want you to take notes on these things, okay? Number one, because most poor and broke business owners focus on this one: working income. Right. So if you have a business, I'll be honest with you, working income, that's just how you live. That's where you make money. It kind of pays you so you can live, so you can grow, so you can keep doing stuff. But most broke business owners and middle income owners, middle class business owners, they kind of work here. They stop here. They treat business like a job. It's not a fucking job. You will never get rich with a job. Business is not a job. It is too hard to run a business and get the same pay of someone who doesn't take on the risk and the amount of time and the amount of fucking energy that it takes to build a successful business. So the next clear financial intention that you need to have is you need to be focused on passive income inside your business, right? And the last one will be building value and worth of your company. That's this company, right? So working income, passive income, and value. In the battle-tested business school, we take a look at business to build a business to create wealth, to create riches in our lives, to have it all with everything that we're working for. The three financial intentions that we have to have, looking at this from the battle-tested business school perspective, is working income, passive income, and creating value and building and creating the value and worth of our company. And this one is massive. I learned this from the real estate investing game, because when you build something, when you buy something, when you look at your business, naturally, when you buy an apartment complex or a shopping center or a development, you are doing it to create value that wasn't there, and then you build that value, and then when you sell the property, now you make the money from that. That's where real riches, real success, real wealth comes from. It's not in all these other things. I can tell you, most of your wealth will be created in this component. But if you have three intentions to your business and building a business the way that we do it in the battle-tested business school, battle-tested shit that works in the real world, we focus on three intentions, while broke and poor business owners usually only focus on this one. And like we said, business is not easy. As a matter of fact, anybody who tells you that business is easy is fucking lying to you, or maybe they're already past the hard part. But worst case scenario, business is way too hard to only make a living. If you want to make a living, get a job. Business is not a job, okay? If you want to make a good income, get a good job. But business is not the way to do that. So what we're going to focus on is those three financial intentions. So if we take a look at that, if we say, okay, cool, we got our working income, we have passive income, and then we have value. We're going to be creating the value of our company. I want you to take a look at where you are right now. Maybe you don't have a business. Maybe you're considering a business. Maybe you work at a job and you're taking a look at that as a model. But one way, shape, or form, this is not about the business that you have or don't have. This is today about the principles that we're going to be sharing with you guys. Because the principles of this are universal principles to any successful business. They work for me. They work for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of other fucking business owners that actually built a business to get rich, not just build a business to make ends meet. So if we take a look at that, how much time or how much energy do you focus on just working income or passive income or creating the value of your company in your company right now? And I want you to take some time and write out, what do you think as it relates to percentages? Let's say you 50% to your working income. Do you spend 20% on passive? Do you spend 30% on the value of your company? What percentage do you actually spend on these specific areas? And then I want you to do this, because this is why we're here. This is why we're going to do this battle-tested business school. I want to get you clear on where you currently fucking are. What currently in your business is your working income? What is your passive income? What do you think the value of your company is, right? And I want you to be honest here. This goes back to the champion standards of why we do what we do. This is the opportunity for you to tell yourself the fucking truth. Don't lie. Don't polish the turd. If it's shit, it's shit. But you got to know where you're starting from so we can get you to where you want to go. And if you aren't clear on that, you won't have it. So let's do some examples. So let's say your current working income, how much money you generate from your business. Let's say it's $50K. Right? Or if this is a job or whatever the case is. This is your working income. It's a job. If you don't have a business, we got it. But I want you to start thinking bigger. I want you to start thinking like a battle-tested business owner, all right? Like somebody who's looking to build a business to create wealth and financial clear intentions in your life, all right? So let's say passive income. You want to create passive income of 50, or you're at 50,000 in your passive income. And let's say the value of your company is, let's say it's worth $1 million. Let's just go $1 million. Nice round number. Cool. So we have working income coming in, 50,000. Passive income coming in, we have 50,000. And let's say the value of your income of your company right now is worth $1 million, hypothetically. Or let's say it's not. Let's say the value of your income, and that's going to be tough because you may not know, right? And we'll talk about that later. Let's say it's really only worth, I don't know, 200,000. Let's stay off the $1 million mark, all right, for now. But for the most part, usually your shit should be anywhere worth $1 million to $2 million, right? At a base. So value of your company. So let's do this. And here's this next thing. And I learned this from my mentor, because we were all sitting in this room and he's like, all right, so take a look at all your numbers. And then I want you to play the game and fucking win. It takes the same amount of energy to come in last in a race as it does to come in first. If you watch the Olympics, let's say track, those runners all have been training the same amount of time, the same amount of effort, the same amount of fucking energy, and only one person is going to come in first, and only one person will come in last. It took the same amount of energy from the time they were kids to the 6 years of training to the hours upon hours and the pain, the diet, the training, the working out, the conditioning, the time away from all of that shit that it took to be first is the same amount of your energy that it takes to come in last. So if you're going to play this game of business with us, the way that we're going to do it in the Warhorse Academy, the way we're doing it in Champion as Men, the way we do it as a battle-tested business school, the way it works, and this is what I learned, was to play the game of business to fucking win if you're going to play it all. To play the game of business to win. So I want you to breathe it in and add a fucking zero for all of these. So here's what we're doing. So that 200K is going to go to 2 million. This is going to go to 500K. This is going to go to 500K. Just set the game up for you to fucking win. That's it. And I want you to take the time and I want you to look at these numbers. I want you to look at your working income now at 500,000. That's worth the fucking time, money, and energy it's going to take to build a business that is successful. This is about creating wealth. This is about having very clear financial intentions. Because before we go, hey, what's your numbers? And you go, shit, I don't know. That is not good enough. The intention of a business, yes, while it is to make money, if you don't have a very clear intention, you will never fucking get there. You at least have to give yourself a chance. And if you're going to give yourself a chance and you're going to put in the fucking 100% amount of work anyways, make it worth it. $500,000 working income, $500,000 passive income. Hell, that's $1 million. And then next, $2 million in company value. Shit, it'll be worth way more than that. Whereas if you were to sell your company, you've made $1 million in working income, you make passive income of $500,000, and when you sell, you made $1 million. That should be fucking total motivation for you to fucking make this work, for you to constantly put your nose down. Because let's face it, like I said, business is hard. It's not easy. I can tell you, man, Like, you guys have been in this group that you guys have seen this training. I work 18, 20 hours a day. I'm not making that shit up. I sleep less than a lot of fucking people. I take naps here and there, but I fucking barely sleep. I wake up, I work out, and then I get fucking working on trying to get this shit ready, about putting my programs together, marketing my ass off, trying to get more people, talking to people, doing training videos, going over my notes. Like, it takes a lot of fucking work. And I don't do it because I love it. I like this. I like what I teach, or I wouldn't teach it. I love and I'm passionate about helping people, or I wouldn't do that. But I can tell you, I don't love doing 20, 14, 18, 20-hour fucking days. I don't. It's just what needs to be done to be successful in this arena. And if you're going to be in this arena, you're going to fucking play, which is why I said you've got to be a champion. You are a champion businessman, battle-tested men marching into the battlefield of the business world with one intention, one fucking clear intention, and that's to win this game, to come in first. All right? So, take time. Look at your numbers. Take a second. And then stack the game for you to win. Get a very clear intention on what this takes. Add a 0 to the back end of your numbers. And then take a look at those, man, and really get it. That this battle-tested business shit, this business school that we're going to be going over this training today is real time. All right? And if you apply these principles, you get there. Cool. So, now that we've actually raised the stakes, right? We've taken the 3 key elements, the key basics of the financial intentions that you have for even having a business. Like I said, business. The intention of a business is to make money. But you need to be clear as it relates to being a battle-tested business owner, the way we teach it at our business school, that if we're going to create wealth and financial fucking benefits, to be rich in our business, there's 3 key financial intentions that we need to have for having a business at all, because the amount of work that's required to make this shit work. Cool? And that's your working income, your passive income, and that is your value that you create in your company. Rich business owners do that. Poor and broke business owners do not. They focus on working, and that's why they will constantly be fucking working. Business is not a job. And we got that. So what is the keys? Like we said, we're just going over the basics of what works, the 20% that gets you 80% of your results. So what is the key element? Elements of business. And I'm going to be abbreviating a lot. The key element to any business. So the key essence of a business, not the element. So I apologize about that. But it is to buy or create something and then sell it for more than it cost you. That's it. If you think about any business, the basics of any business, the key essence of all businesses is to make money. And how do you do that? You buy or create something and you sell it for more than it cost you, right? Prime example. So Marquise, my son, is 14. And he watched a YouTube video about some candy, right? Some Snickers bars and Skittles and a bunch of shit that were for sale, like in this box, on YouTube. And it was like $18 at Costco. So he was like, Dad, could you do me a favor? And I was like, yeah. He was like, could you take me to Costco because I want to buy these candies because I want to kind of make money. And I was like, okay, cool. What are you going to do? He's like, I'm going to sell these candies at school. I'm going to sell these candies at school for $2. And I was like, all right, somebody's going to buy a Snickers bar for that much? He was like, shit, I don't know. I'll figure it out. I was like, okay, cool. So I brought him to the store. I paid $18 for the candy, for this box of candy that had 30 pieces in it. He went to school and he took a picture of it and he put it on his Instagram. And all he was like, I got some candy. It's going to be $2. Bring your money to school tomorrow, right? Then he went to school and he came home. He sold all of his candy, 30 pieces, for $2. And he made how much? $60. It cost $18 for the box. He made a profit. He just took his money, put it in his pocket, boom. That's business. Everything else doesn't matter. Oh, we didn't have to go and, hey, who bought from you? Write their names down, write exactly how much. Let's send them a thank you email. Let's follow up with that. Let's put them in our CRM so we can continue to market to them later. None of that happened. My candy, your money, we have a deal. That's it. And then he put it in his pocket. And I'm keeping this simple because, again, my job is to keep this simple. Simple is easy and doable. Complicated is fucking pretty, but it doesn't, people don't do it. Complicated just looks good, but it doesn't work all the time, right? So, like we said, my money my candy, your money. Got it. My twins went outside and picked a bunch of flowers. For whatever reason, they're like, we're going to make money too. They wanted to sell stuff to girls. So they were like, okay, cool. So they made these leis. It took some string and they put some flowers on them, and it took a ton of flowers. They spent some time doing it. The flowers didn't cost them anything. We had string in the house. And they sold each one of these flower necklaces, these leis, that they weren't all the way around either. They were just right in the middle. And they sold them to these girls for like $3 a piece. And it was like $3. Yeah, $2 or $3. But anyways, they made 10 of them. Each one of them made 10. They sold them, let's say, for $2. That's what I remember being, $2, not $3. And they sold 10, right? So they made like $20 each off flower strip. Do you get the essence of business, real business, battle-tested business, keeping it simple? My stuff for your money, that's it. No extra. Everything else that people try to do. See, rich business owners get that. They go, cool, the essence of business. I have something, I sell it for more than it costs me. I make that money, and I keep on going, put it in my pocket. Broke business owners, they focus all of their energy on tech, on trying to make shit perfect, on operations. Like, do we need to write this down? Let's go back. Let's make sure everything's documented correctly. Let's make sure all of our words are spelled right. Let's make sure everything is in balance. None of that shit matters. Make money matters in business, right? There's a lot of people out there preaching and teaching the wrong shit as it relates to business people. They say the purpose of business is to help people. The purpose of business is to make money, to get rich. Helping people is how you get the money. But that is not the purpose of a business, because you can help people for free. That, helping people for free, is not a business, okay? So I just want to be clear on that. So if the essence of business is to buy or create something and then turn around and sell it for more than it cost you, then there's these other three pieces that we take a look at as it relates to the battle-tested business school, right? So, so the three parts to business. There's only three parts to any business. So out of all the shit that people learn in business school and I got friends that went to like cool shit like, I don't know, like Rice University for business and stuff. And they're like, man, like you make things so simple. And I'm like, because I'm doing shit in the real world. I didn't sit behind a book. I learned something and then I had to go apply it immediately. So I had to really simplify everything. So when we take a look at the three parts to business, we're going to put them in a simple format, right? So we're going to put them in buckets. This bucket, this bucket, and can you guys see? Yeah, I'm going to use my whole space. This bucket. This is production. Production, marketing, and this is operations. That's it. Everything in business will fall within the lines of these three buckets. So let's say, for example, sales goes within marketing, right? Because that's where you make money. Operations, let's say running the office, right? There. Admin, that goes in operations. Paperwork, operations. Delivery of your stuff, like how do you get the stuff to your people? Operations. Creating your programs, production. Staff and all the different people, depending on where you do it. Staff in the office, operations. Staff in production, like we do live events. All of our staff, people who come in to help, volunteers, other coaches, production. Logistics, operations, like getting people's food and all the other stuff, or in your own business, like all those things. But marketing, here, there you go. That's do you understand what I'm saying? Like everything really boils down to one. But let me ask you a serious question as it relates to being battle tested. This is real business for people who want to get rich in business to create wealth. Where is the only thing, the only place of this thing of all the three buckets that everything else gets dumped into? That if we said the essence of any business is to create a product and to sell it, and for more than what it costs you, the only time you actually make money in any of these things is right here. In your marketing and selling, that's all. But most poor and broke business owners tend to focus on, well, let's create more stuff and let's get more of this and let's put more t-shirts together and let's do all this stuff. And let's make sure that we have enough people on the thing and let's follow up and let's do customer service as the thing and all this stuff. The most important part about any business as it relates to creating wealth and being battle tested in the business as it relates to what we're teaching here is marketing and sales. You need to focus. I'm going to give you what I've been doing and what I've been taught as it relates to the area of focus to create wealth in your business, especially that we're saying that if the essence of business is to make money, and the way to make money is to create something that and sell it for less than what it costs you to make it. And the only part about running and operating in business is marketing and sales, because that's the only thing that pays you. Accounting doesn't pay you. Making your stuff doesn't pay you. None of that shit pays you. The only time you actually make money is in marketing the product and selling it. Then that means that in marketing and sales, and we have production, we have, let's say, operations, you need to put 60% of all of your time, all of your money, all of your efforts, all of your staff, all of their efforts need to be put on your marketing and the selling of what it is you have. And in production, 20% of your time, and in operations, 20% of your time. And I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, but I have to have administration. I have to have my emails straight. I have to have customer service. But if you focus all of your fucking time there, you will be broke, because the only time you will make any money in any business is marketing and selling what you have. Delivering it, operations, delivering it, that stuff is a given. You have to do that. But you shouldn't spend all of your time there, because you can't, unless you have somebody that's taking care of all of your marketing sales, bringing in customers in the door that's buying your stuff. Now you have money. Now you have money, and you spend the rest of your time delivering it, right? And even in your operations and your sales, even in your operations and delivering, there still needs to be something that later we'll get into. You need to create a system, right? Or systemize operations. Because once you do that, now your focus as an owner or a battle-tested business owner that's focusing on creating wealth and getting rich turns all of his energy to marketing and sales. 60% of all your money, time, and energy goes there. And then you have a way to systemize delivery and operations of that program or product or whatever you're doing. You can constantly make money. And then you're going to spend a little bit of time producing, but you've already done that. You wouldn't have anything to market and sell, right? So all of your effort as being a battle-tested business owner must go to people who are, you guys have to go towards making the money in this thing. And that goes by 60%. So you are going to be a focus that puts all of your business energy into marketing sales and only a small amount of energy into production and operations. And once you understand that, your whole business will shift, because all of your energy is now focusing on the one thing that will actually make you money. And that is the essence of the key essence of a winning business anyways, is money. All right? So as we take a look at bringing in that money, rich business owners, the distinction between rich business owners and poor business owners, battle-tested business owners that actually create a business to create wealth versus the people who create a business to create a living and never earn a living, they focus on 4 different parts of money and the income side. 1, profit, revenue. And I'm using these words because there's just general words that just work in business. They're not fancy words. They're just universal words that are there. In business, there's profit, there's revenue, there's cash flow, and there's expenses. That's it. Everything else kind of falls within there. A rich business owner only focuses on these pieces: profits, revenues, cash flow, and expenses. And most people, if you ask them how much did your business make, they usually say, well, we made $100,000, or we made $200,000, or we made $500,000. And we're like, okay, cool. So is that what you netted? Like, how much did you actually make? Oh, they had $200,000 or $500,000 or $1 million. Like, okay, wait. So let me get this straight. How much did you make after expenses? Oh shit, I don't know. Because being a person that's building a business based on wealth, based on creating rich, being rich, and also being a battle-tested business on, like, you have to make this shit work. This is street smart speed work. about building a real business and creating and being rich in like 5 years or so, right? You will focus all of your energy on getting profits up, revenues up, making cash flow go up, and being ruthlessly committed to driving your expenses down. Now, you have to be focused on, you have to be very ruthless at expenses, because your expenses will kill you in the business when you are trying to create wealth, right? Because you believe that you need everything, you don't. I want to suggest that you run a lean and mean business in this modern game of business, because you can, all right? If someone's not adding value to your business at 1,000%, or something or someone is not adding value to your business at 1,000%, get rid of it. It's not about being an ass. It is. I'd rather you be an asshole and eventually get where you want to go for you, your family, and all the people that work for you, or the people that are going to be involved in the system that you're going to create as it relates to building a battle-tested business, than to try to be the nice guy and be broke. Because in this market, you have to be aware, in the modern game, things are different, all right? So where in your business, if you have one, or the model that we're going to be looking at, can you take a look at right now? What do you not need? Because let me say this, and we said this before, 20% of your profit, 20% of your actions will get 80% of your profit. And I learned this, and I thought this was excellent because I did this myself. So this is battle tested. And 20% of your expenses will give you 80%, yeah, right, of your profit. So that means 80% of your expenses can actually be cut. You get that? So if 20% of your action gives you 80% of your profits, and 20% of your expenses are actually involved in 80% of your profit, that means 80% of your expenses can be cut. And if you were to take a moment right now, let's say you take 3 minutes and go, cool, I have a business. What are 5 expenses that I can cut? What are the 5 things that I know that I can cut down? And if I were to cut these down, I could actually raise revenue. And it would raise my cash flow, it would raise my profits up, all right? Now, you have to focus on making more profit. Be relentless at making profit, and we'll go over that, how to make that profit. Be relentless at understanding what your revenue, what is your future revenues look like? What is your monthly revenues? What is your monthly cash flow? What does your monthly profit look like? And continue to get those up. And what are our monthly expenses? And can I be ruthless at driving those down? What can I cut to make that small difference? And there's a reason why we do that, all right? So when we took a look at that, we said, okay, cool. If 80% of our results in our business, of our profits, come from only 20% of our expenses, that means 80% of our expenses can be cut if we really take a look at them and get them down, right? And naturally, like I said, we're only looking at what matters if you want to create wealth in your business, the battle-tested business training from that perspective. These principles are general, but they work. And no one taught me this shit initially. I had to figure this shit out. I was running around like everybody else, just trying to create this great working income, but then I wondered why I wasn't moving ahead. I wasn't able to build what I wanted to build, right? So as we look at profit, so the goal here is to have high margins in what we sell, right? So what is a margin? That's like saying, hey, look, I get t-shirts made and my t-shirts cost me $10, but I sell my t-shirts for $12. That's a low margin. That's $2. Could I sell those t-shirts for $20? That's $10. That's a higher margin. Could I sell them for $50, right? Because we do that. We do sell t-shirts for $50 if we include it in our stuff. So I'm not saying that that margin comes from taking advantage. I'm saying, like, can we give this amount of value but not change our cost, right? If it costs $12, it costs $2 or $10, can we sell this for $50 and make a $40 margin, but make the value of what they're getting so good? Better shirt, better prints, make them a part of something. If they have the shirt, it's valuable. They can get these shirts. You can get more than one shirt, like, right? Which goes to our next thing. We're talking about how you build profit, higher profits. high volumes. Sell in high volumes. Like we said, for me, I have a book. So isn't it better if I sell a book? So let's say the book cost me $2 and somebody buys it for $7, or $2 and somebody buys. I took the same book, got it reprinted in a hard copy, and then now I offer it for $80, right? So that same book now cost me $8, but I sell it for $80. All I did was just change the cover. I made it way better quality. They can always have this thing. I signed the inside of it. It comes with a free shirt that the margin on the shirt is super cheap. So even if they bought the shirt, I would be okay. But that $80 value plus a free shirt now with the book is different. And if I sell 10 of them, I'll say, hey, you get one, it's X amount of dollars. You get 10, and you can give these things away from somebody else. You get a free shirt, you get a free this, and you get all these different books. So I raised the volume, and then I also raised the margin, and that gave me higher profits. Right? So one of the other things I want to share with you that I learned about the battle-tested business thing, and it's not on our paperwork, but it's what I tell people, speed. Speed is an asset. When you can move faster than other people because you are a guerrilla marketer, you are a guerrilla salesperson, you are operating with no supply lines, nothing's cutting you off, you can just strap whatever you need, your weapon on your back, and you go, and you attack, and you attack, and you attack, and you attack. The battlefield of business, to me, about creating real wealth, as somebody who's not some big corporation who's held down by all the bureaucracy of bullshit, you can actually go faster than other people. You can create higher profits. You can come up with better ideas. You can give people value faster. You can say yes fast, as opposed to other people, they got to get permission. So speed should be an asset for you to be able to function and build this battle-tested business so fast and make millions of dollars and create massive amounts of wealth in your working income and your passive income, as well as build the value of your company up because you have something that works. You can test faster than other people, and because of it, you can do that. So like we said, this is different ways I want you to remember. I want you to deal in high margins, high ticket items, high ticket coaching products. We have $500 coaching like Tougher, and we have $5,000 coaching like when guys come to Champion and they do the pre-event training and or all the other stuff that we have. So think about that. We have a $25,000, we have a $5,000, we have a $3,000 experience, we have a $500 experience, we have a $1,000 a month coaching. You get what I'm saying? But how cheap does $500 for 30 days look to a $5,000 program? So when people see that, they go, oh shit, okay. Like now this $500 to someone doesn't seem that expensive at all in comparison to $5,000. So you want to have options for people, but usually what will happen is when you have a higher volume and higher profit margin, higher ticket stuff, you get to play the game and you create profits faster. And then with creating that profit, you create higher volumes, you create higher revenue, and then with that higher revenue, you can have higher cash flows, and you can drive your expenses down because your expenses didn't go up by charging more money. You got what I'm saying? So that was the difference. I learned this in real estate. It cost me the same amount of time and money and the same energy to buy an apartment complex for $2 million than it did to buy a $200,000 condo. Same energy, more profit, same work, more profit. All I did was go to a higher profit margin in the same product, right? Same numbers. I just added a zero. Same thing we did in creating what it is we're trying to gun for as related to winning the business game in the battle-tested business school. All right. So let's see. Where are we now? We're breezing through this shit. Next. We're going to look at this piece. So the other part about this is looking at our cash flow. The problem with most businesses is not that they don't make money, is that their bills come in before their money does because they're dealing with what's called accounts receivable, meaning like I give you the product and then you use it and then you pay me later. But unfortunately, within that period of later, bills come in, right? So we don't do accounts receivable. We don't do that. We use OPP or OPM, right? So now what OPP is like the old school song, but OPP is other people's people. That is something that we utilize in marketing because marketing costs money too. You got to invest in your marketing to build stuff. Battle-tested business owners, battle-tested people who are trying to build this use other people's people. So if someone already has a group of people for you to talk to, then that is not money you have to spend. You go and talk to them, right? And you give them a hell of an experience, and then you invite them in. And then if you're looking to fund your own stuff, like if you're waiting to build your own business, then you're going to use OPM, other people's money, right? I learned this in a couple of different businesses. We do it in real estate, or we go off and we find investors, and we use their money to get the deals. So we have no money in the deal. In this situation, for customers and clients, you actually get them to customer finance. Right? Spell right? Whatever. Customer finance. That means that they pay you first before you deliver what you need. And then that's how you never run into a cash flow issue. Because if you have to get it first and then get the money from them, you will have a cash flow issue in between that. That means you got to come out of your own pocket, or you get it first and you give it to them, and then you hope they pay you, right? That's a flawed system, hoping someone gives you money for something that you owe money on. That's how most broke and middle class business owners run their businesses. They do accounts receivable. They hope and pray someone's going to pay them for what's owed, and then they have this account receivable department. We don't do that. What we do is we create a program. We understand what that program is. We go out and pre-sell, and then we deliver. Prime example. I'm going to give you guys an example, like some street examples. You're going to like this. Like I said, street smart shit. Just my past, not right or wrong, just what I did. When I used to sell, I used to hustle. And I would get their money first. Like, hey, I want this. I want weed. I want a pound. This was back in the day. Like, I was younger, like 20-some years ago. I would get their money first. I wouldn't spend my money and sell it to them and hope to make my money back. That's called accounts receivable. I'm like, shit. So what I did was I got their money, found out what they wanted, and it was over what I paid for it, business essentials. Then I went and got that, brought back theirs to them, and then I made profit. Now with that profit, which was free money, I just bought more stuff while I was there anyways, right? So I had an over, so I made money, working capital, and then I invested money into the product, and then I already had their stuff. So when I got home, I had already had people who were like, oh, I'm gonna have money tomorrow. I'm like, cool, I will get that. So my stuff kept going. I kept building. Before you know it, I did that 4 or 5 times, and I was ahead of everybody else. Because they were buying and then selling. I was selling and then buying and then giving them what they needed and making my money up front. You see what I'm saying? So focus. In our battle-tested business school, we focus on pre-selling all of our stuff. We don't deal in accounts receivable, or you're going to pay us later. We decide, we pre-sell, and then we deliver because we already have the money. So then you're never at a cash flow issue. That means that you have your money up front, and then you deliver, and you over-deliver after you got that. So that way you know that you will never have a financial issue with those things, right? And then next, this is where a bunch of other people fail as it relates to the battle test from a battle-tested business, and I've been guilty of this too. 1, focus on one business, one strategy, and one business opportunity until you get rich. Most broke business owners, most broke financial people, they try to focus on 10, 20 things at one time. In business is too hard to have your energies focused all over the place. And everything in the world is energy. So it takes 100% of your energy, right? So like if you watch a plane take off, it takes 100% of its energy to take off. Once it takes off, it uses less gas, less energy, and it can just get where it has to go, right? Shut the engines down and not use enough gas. It can get there. Business is the same way. It takes 100% of your fucking energy to get it off the ground. And once you're up there, once you're making money, once you have passive income, cash flow coming in, once you're creating the value of your business and it's becoming to build from the $200,000 to the $20 million or the $2 million company you want it to be, then and only then can you take your focus a little off of it. Not perfect, not all the way. You still got to do it. There's an autopilot situation, but you still got to manage the manager, right? But that's what I want you to do. Focus. When I was running the gym and I was running the real estate stuff and I was trying to do it all, all of my energy was all over the place. It was like this time I was doing real estate. This time I was doing this. This time I was running back to the property. I trained people, run back to the property. I would go home, try to set up stuff. I wanted to get Champion off the ground. I was putting together the programs. I was putting together the tests. I was going through all the business stuff that I knew, and I was going to classes. It's way too much. You would think that that makes sense to have. You've heard multiple streams of income. That's bullshit. For rich, that was taught by somebody who's meant to keep you safe, but not to make you rich. Someone who is broke still tries to do multiple streams of income, and you find when you talk to them, they don't have any one that works. Everyone that you know that's been successful in business got rich in one industry, one business. It took one energy, one massive amount of energy to make them successful, and then and only then did they switch. Then and only then did they dabble in other things. That's it. You focus on one business. The battle-tested business school, by all accounts and purposes, is about helping you do one thing, get financially rich in one business. And then when you get rich in that business and you're on the way to selling it, or it's where it needs to be, or you hit your goals, then you can venture off and do other things. But you focus your ass off until you fucking get that. It takes way too much energy for this. This is business. This is real life. This is battle testing. I know, man. I failed so much trying to jump around because I can, right? It's hard if you're a dog without a leash and somebody can throw a smell into the air and make you run back and forth thinking that you're going to eat at each one. And running back and forth at trying to eat at each place, you end up eating nothing because it just goes away. All right? So next, and I'm going through this because the rest of these are pretty much, you get it. It isn't about getting it, though. This isn't about I know that. This is about I do that. I do that 100%. If you don't do this at 100%, you don't know shit. If you haven't built a business and you've made it worth millions of dollars and sold it, or got other products or whatever inside of your business and made it worth millions of dollars and sold it, you don't know shit if you haven't done it. You've just heard about it. So while you've heard about these things, if you can't produce them over and over and over again, being battle tested under real fire with real money, then you don't know it. So maybe you should listen. This is important, guys. Very important. I take this so serious. This will change your life because it's changed mine. When I don't do it, I sit and I contemplate and I go, fuck, I missed this. I missed these principles. I stopped. All right. Next. Rich business owners, battle-tested business owners create a team. Broke people think they can do it all themselves or think they have to. You know, one of the biggest challenges why most people don't get a team, and if you take a look at it, if you have a business right now, like who's on your team, write their names down. What is it that they do? Are they better than you at what they do? Or are you the brain and you just order them around? Here's the deal. Most rich and successful business owners, battle-tested business owners, get a team of great people around them. They surround themselves with a great team. Now, they may not be as good as you at what you do. They're not going to be. They would have started their own shit if that was the case. They will go someplace else. But what you need to be doing is surrounding yourself by people who are good at what they do. They can offer insight and they want to push the mission forward as you build this team. So if your job, like we said, if you have one thing that you're good at doing and your job as it relates to being the business owner, the battle-tested business owner is to do what? To fucking make money. The 60% of the time that you need to be spending is about marketing and selling, right? Unless you have somebody better than you at marketing and selling, put them there because they will be the one person on your team that actually matters, that makes you fucking money. And 60% of all your efforts should be there anyways. But you still need to have a team. The people that you surround yourself with to help you push this vision forward is way better than you being the front guy. It's way better because doing this together in energy and synergy will work. I failed at this. I always believe I can do it alone. And I find that when I start to build a team around me, when I build my tribe, my initial tribe, not my tribe of clients, my tribe of people but the people I rub shoulder to shoulder with every day, that we talk about the mission, we collaborate, we do stuff, we build together, and together we make this thing work. Build a team. Most people are afraid to build a team because, one, they think they can't afford to pay them because they think that building a team should be, I got to hire somebody and pay them $100,000 a year because that's what you want. Well, usually those people don't want that. They just want to be acknowledged. They want to be appreciated for the skill that they have. They put in a lot of work to do what they do for what you're bringing them on board for the team for. So to build the best team, one, you need to have a clear mission. And that mission needs to be a part of what they want to do in their lives too. I want to empower people to live from strength and power instead of weakness and fear and need and obligation. I want men to be successful. I want them to have better marriages. I want them to be strong physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. I want them to have great businesses and have great net worths and to be financially free. I don't want them to be living their life from obligation financially and not be able to do the things they want to do with their wife and their kids. That is my purpose, my mission. I've been there. So anyone I employ on my team just needs to be able to appreciate that mission too in their own life. They want to see other people go. They want to see kids be able to have their dads and their moms around. They want to be able to spend time with their families the same way. They want to be on that same mission with me, that clearly stated mission to get people to resonate, for that to be their true nature as well. Helps. That's how you build a team. Second, give them some action. Give them a piece of the action, dude. In the beginning, you may not have a lot of money to pay people, right? But give them something. Later, give them more. You can give them profit. You can give them revenue. I always suggest giving people profit, not revenue. And you can also share with them, like when you sell, you can be like, hey, give them a bonus. Don't promise them profit. Don't make them partners, because if you fail, they will see that they fail. If you're bringing them on as a team, you're trying to bribe them to come on board with the money side, right? I'm just teaching you guys lessons I've learned. Because if you give away the farm, but before you know what your farm is going to produce, then you won't have shit, right? Because if you say, look, I'll give you profit, then there'll be some leftover stuff, and then there's profit leftover, profit sharing, which is what that's called. You can give them, again, equity. Don't give them equity. No equity. No equity. If you give equity away as a gift as you're building a team in the beginning. If you're afraid that you can't pay them, have a clear mission, give them some of the action along the way. No equity, but when you sell as your purpose. Like I said, we're talking about battle-tested business. We're building a business for a purpose. As you sell your business, or you get out of your business, or you have a bunch of stuff left over, give all your people bonuses. What's better? I tell you I'm going to give you something, or I show up with you after we sold with a $100,000 bonus check for all the shit you helped me do over the years, the grind. Won't you feel better about that? Won't you go on the next venture with me if you're on my team? Be like, shit, this guy took care of me. That's how you build a team of good people around you. You don't have to pay them millions of dollars, but you need to honor and acknowledge them and appreciate them with a clear vision. Offer them, give them some of the action, give them something of what you can give them. If it's nothing more than just them helping you, most people are cool with contributing time to something they believe in, all right? And like I said, as a caveat, don't offer equity in the beginning if you don't know what you're going to have at the end, because you don't know what your equity is going to be. Your equity may be zero, and then they're going to be expecting something, and you won't have anything to give. But that's not going to be the case if you follow the battle-tested principles that we're going over. So create an awesome team around you and build a tribe environment. Create your own shit, your own language, your own thing. Make them want to be a part of this thing. And then next, systemize your business. So on that last piece of team, write down 3 things that you believe that you can do to offer people to build the right team, the perfect team. Like, I want you to think ahead. Set the game up for you to win. If it's not perfect now, then what would the perfect team look like? All right? What would you offer them based on what we just talked about? Just be creative. Again, dream big. Because if you don't dream big, then you'll never give yourself a chance. If you dream small, then you'll probably hit that shit. Okay? So, systemize your business. Systemize your business. What is the definition of a system? A system is something that works without you and continues to produce the same results. So if you systemize your business to work without you, that means you're going to systemize each part of it. You're going to have a system, right? So I want you to picture this. I want you to picture a machine, like let's say it's an ATM, that kicks out $5K, right? Every day, kicks out $5,000, like clockwork. And you come along and I go, hey, this thing kicks out $5,000 a month and it's automated. You don't have to do anything. And I want to sell it for 100K. 100K, right? 100,000. Would you buy this machine for $100,000 that kicks out $5,000 a day, right? You can figure out if the system works and it continues to work, and every day you come in like, oh, I made 5,000 today, got it, and then you leave and you come back the next day, no, made 5,000. It's automatic. So when you systemize your business, and we're getting into this next piece, it is important for you to create a system that works for you, so it continues to make money for you, and it works for you, so it doesn't need you anymore. Because what will happen is if you don't systemize your business from the battle-tested business perspective, then you are the problem. Rich business owners create systems inside of their business that run so it doesn't need them. They get their time back. They have their more passive time, passive energy, so they can build again, right? And broke business owners don't. They continue to work there. They continue to stay there because they're focused on what? Working income, all right? So if you systemize your business, what are 3 systems that you think you will need in your business? And I want you to write them down. I want you to be creative. You, like inside of your marketing and your sales, what system could you create? Pick 3. Inside of operations, what system could you create? And production. What are 3 systems that you can create? I want you to be creative. If I tell you that it doesn't help, if you think this thing out, this isn't me doing it for you, eating your food and chewing and spitting in your mouth. This is a battle-tested business school. I'm just teaching you the super basics, the 20% that'll make 100% of the fucking, the 80% of your difference, all right? All your profit. So if you have a system and you come up with a couple ways you can systemize marketing and sales, you can systemize your operations, like your delivery stuff, all that other stuff, and then you systemize your production, right? Your stuff. What are 3 in each category, so there'll be 9 ways that you can create a system to do this, that it runs without you, right? Super important for this, because if you don't create a system, you can't do this next piece. Create your business, sell your business, get rich. Simple. This is the battle-tested principle of all principles. You must create the business to sell the business, and that's how you get rich. You make more money selling the business than actually running the business. Prime example, I made more money selling my properties than I did running them, if that makes sense. With Warhorse, I made more money. I never really sold Warhorse because it's evolved into other things, but I made more money as I looked at creating the system around the business that ran itself than I did actually going in and training dudes and talking them through everything and doing a bunch of stuff. Every time I went to someone else and I trained them, they were actually able to continue to make things work. So like we said earlier, creating the system is different. Now, will I ever sell the academy? Yes. I'm clear on what my exit strategy is as it relates to selling Warhorse, but there's another part of the business that I'm going to keep. So I'm creating the systems in place of that because, like I said, create a business to sell the business and get money. Most people are personally attached. Everything is personal, yes, but don't be emotionally attached to what you have. So that said, don't create a business with your fucking name in it. No one cares. No one will buy Todd's Inferno machine. No one will buy that. Or like Jose's Bank. No one will buy Jose's Bank. What they will buy is International Bank of Honolulu. And I wouldn't even try Honolulu because if it's too relevant to the area, then you can't sell it to someone from Texas that wants that same model someplace else. They got to change the name. Build it to sell it and get paid. Right? So when you build something to sell something, you manage it and you run it differently. You are selling the system that runs the business. And if you keep that general in nature, that works universally, then you can always look at selling it. Like we said in the beginning, what do wealthy, battle-tested business owners focus on? Working income, which we went over, passive income, systemizing, which we went over, and then also this, which is creating the value in your company. Your job is to create value in your company by doing all those other things. So when you sell, or if you sell, you can sell all, you can sell part, or you can sell advice. Advice means sell your company and then stay on for advice. you stay on as a consultant. You're a high paid consultant. So you sell the business, you stay on and get paid as a consultant, and then you get paid a portion of the revenue as you continue to stay on as a consultant because you're raising the stakes in the company, right? Because your advice is you're the guy who built it, so you can do that. So people will buy your company and still pay you to stay on to ask you fucking questions that they don't know, right? Because you built it. So you can sell all, you can sell part, or you can sell your advice. You can still exit, but you can't do that if you don't build your company to sell it. When I say build your company to sell, that means you generically build the right business with the end in mind. Rich business owners build a business with the end in mind. Poor and broke business owners build the business for themselves because they never plan on getting rid of it because that's how they work. That's where they make their money. They're building a job, not a business to sell and get rich and be wealthy off of. So the Battle Tested Business School, I wanted to give you these principles. And this is the first time, again, I'm teaching these things. I usually know these things, so when people call me and consult on them, I share them, or I point out these obvious pieces to me, to them. And these are the battle-tested things that I know. I've done this in real estate industry. I've done this in the gym industry. I've done this in the drug industry. I've done this in the insurance industry. I've done this in every industry I've been in, where I've been able to go to industry to industry to industry to be successful. I've coached people in the gym industry. I've coached people in the financial world. I've coached people that are professionals. I've coached brokers, mortgage people. I've coached so many different people in all the different industries. The battle-tested business principles that I'm bringing to you, they work over and over and over again. Like we said, the general universal principles. The distinction is for people who want to get rich or create wealth in their business, not just create a fucking job. This is the secret that few people will tell you, because 90% of the world out there have no idea, and they've never went to go get actual training, or if they did, they went to school training. People that went to college, but they have no real world relevance to get real results in the real world, because all of this shit was created in the fire of real life. And I wanted to share this with you. And this took me years to learn. And I went to different courses and classes, and those courses and classes took days and days and days of tons of content. And I wanted to distill this information down to make this work for you today. So what is the one big takeaway that you got from this training? Only one. You're not going to take away everything. Just today, one big training. What is the one action that you are going to take by learning that thing? What is the one thing that you know that you're going to do today as a committed action? And I want you to put it in the comment box. And we will go through these things and review these things on our Q&A day on Friday. So again, this is the Battle-Tested Business School. This is the Battle-Tested Business Principles. And the key distinctions are the difference between a rich business owner that's looking to create wealth in his business with very clear financial intentions for owning a business, or someone who's poor and broke who has a business, who's just looking to create a job, and business is way too fucking hard. The purpose of a business is to create money. That's it. And anything outside of that is fucking madness. All right, man, this is Vic. Hope you enjoyed this training.